Hello, once again, welcome to the fourth episode on National Education Policy, a comprehensive review and analysis of National Education Policy 2020. First of all, thank you very much for all the overwhelming support and feedback, I should say. It's heartening to get such great feedbacks. I've been getting a lot of WhatsApps and a lot of comments about the videos. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that we will do justification to all the videos that we are going to post. Now, quickly moving, all along we have been seeing a comprehensive analysis of National Education Policy 2020 at school levels. Now, today we will go one step further and see the impact of National Education Policy at higher education level. Now, by higher education, what we mean is anything above schools, be it in colleges or universities, that's higher education, right? So before we move on to what higher education policy, what the policy says about higher education as a segment, we will now see the current scenario of how higher education is. Now, these are completely based on policy documents and none of the words that I speak are my own versions. I am just comprehending what's there in the policy, right? The policy says currently the higher education scenario or the higher education space is highly fragmented in nature. By fragmented, it means it is highly disorganized. The entire higher education space is completely disorganized. One. Number two, Indian higher education system focuses very less on research and learning outcomes, which means the purpose of higher education actually, if you all know, if you all agree, is research. That's what higher education is meant for. Now, as per the policy, it says higher education space in India currently focuses very less on research and also very less on learning outcomes, which means most of the colleges we know, I would not blame again the colleges or universities for this. That's how the system is, and that's what the policy also says. It says the focus is very narrow and shallow in nature when it comes to higher education. It's generalizing. Fourth point, it says, again, it's not blaming the university, it is not blaming any college, be it public or private. The policy states that, the policy blames the current practice and system that prevails in higher education space. The current policy and system is the autonomy for any institution is very less. Now, if you don't give autonomy to an institution, how will the colleges or universities act freely and then come up with a lot of innovative academic, pedagogical, teaching, training practices? That's not possible. Therefore, one of the reasons that the policy states is too many regulatory bodies. By regulatory body, what we mean is there is something called UGC, which we all know, University Grants Commission. There is also something called AICT, that is All India Council for Technical Education. There is something called MCI, Medical Council of India. Similarly, there are different bodies present for each and every subject or disciplines. Now, when you have too many disciplines, it contradicts itself. For example, UGC and AICTE, I know, contradicts on the same point. They contradict. So this leads to a lot of confusion among universities. So these are some of the gray areas or challenges that is currently there in higher education space. First is focus less on research. Second is completely disorganized. Third is less emphasis on research and narrow focus. Fourth is completely too many regulators, and then finally less autonomy. Now, these are some of the pitfalls of current education system. Now, what's going to happen in the new education system is the government or the policy that they have proposed is going to completely overhaul the higher education space, which means your entire higher education space is going to see a complete or thorough overhaul. It's not going to be the same. How? Firstly, when it comes to the bodies like UGC or AICTE or any body, the regulatory system, there's going to be only one regulatory system from now on. There's not going to be multiple regulatory system. Only one regulatory body that will decide on the policies for higher education. One. Number two, a university. Now, let us all understand how a university should be ideally. Now, university should offer multiple programs. It cannot restrict itself by offering one discipline. For example, we know that many universities only offer medicine. We know many universities only offer engineering. We know some of the universities offer only arts and science programs. That's not how the universities have to be. As the name itself suggests, universal learning is what is derived from university. So university has to be a temple of learning. It has to teach everything. A student who walks into the university should learn anything and everything that a student wants. Now, is that happening today? No. Honestly, no. Now, that is changing. How? Now, most of the universities that are there today will now become multidisciplinary education. They will offer multidisciplinary programs, which means a university will offer medicine, a university will offer engineering, same university will offer, some of the arts and science, linguistic programs, etc. It's already there. Some of the private universities do offer this today, but it will become the order of the day from now on. Second change. The third change that we are going to see is going to create a lot of multidisciplinary universities like Takshila or Nalanda. So these are some of the homegrown universities of India that the entire world respected. Now we are going to see more and more Nalandas and Takshilas coming up in India. The next reform that this policy suggests is something which is very, very exciting. If you ask me, I'm really missing those days when I'm feeling why I'm not a student now. Obviously everybody is a student at some point in time, but it's really exciting if you're going to be a student in the next 4 or 5 years. Why? Because of this particular point, which is nothing but integration of humanities with STEM. Now, STEM is nothing but science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Now, ideally, if you're a student of science and technology, you will either study engineering or you will study medicine or whatever it is, something related to science. But now that's changing. Now, with the new policy, you will have a fusion of humanities and science, which means someone who's studying science will also stand an opportunity to study, say, a music or something which is very, a computer science engineer can also study artificial intelligence, can study photography as a part of the curriculum. So this is going to be, this is already there. Some of the colleges or universities I know in India offer this. It's more or less called as liberal arts, but this is now going to become highly, in practice. So this is nothing but integration of STEM with humanities. And the next most vital point from a student's perspective is, the exit mode or the exit option. Now, not everyone who joins colleges completes the colleges, right? There are many college dropouts that you will see, and for various reasons. It could be for their personal family reasons, it could be for some personal reasons, it could be for financial reasons. There are many reasons why a student leaves colleges. Now, when a current situation is when a student leaves the college, he or she will have, if at all they have to join the college again, they have to once again appear from the first year, right? That's how the current practice is. Now, with the new policy, that's going to change. Now, what is going to happen is, a student, if he or she finishes first year and discontinues his study, now he or she would be given a certificate that they have completed 1 year. If they have completed 2 years and then they quit the program, they will be awarded a diploma certificate. They will be given a diploma. If they leave after 3 years, they will be given a bachelor's certificate. Now, what's going to happen is there's going to be something called ABC. That's called Academic Bank of Credit, which means whatever you have studied in first year will be given as a certificate, and those will be credited in your account, in your locker or digital account, whatever it is. It's going to be called as Academic Bank of Credit. Now, when you want to study 5 years, you have discontinued this year, imagine, and then you want to study after 5 years. Now, the current policy is you have to restart again. Now, with the new policy, you need not do that. That's the beauty. You can give that credit which is there lying in your bank and show it to them and directly join in the second year. Similarly, when you have discontinued after 2 years, you can show your diploma certificate and finish your program at any point in time, which means there's going to be an exit. There is also going to be a multiple entry time for colleges. This is really exciting because this will help in continued education for a long time. So, to conclude, I think these are some of the policy mentions that the new education policy has given for the higher education perspective. Now, I think it's definitely a positive mood. Some of the policies that the government has given is highly ambitious in nature, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you like the video, please click on the bell button and like the YouTube channel. We will still have one more video, and tomorrow we will talk a little bit about the pitfalls. Now, everything has the pros and cons. All along we have been talking about we have been decoding what this policy has Tomorrow, we will critically see what are the challenges that this policy has. It needs a critical eye, it also needs a critical examination. We will see that tomorrow, and then finally, I will give my verdict on this national education policy. Once again, thank you everybody for watching. Have a great day. Thank you.